All right, it has happened. Ole Gunnar Solskjær is finally gone, gone, gone. It took Watford. Finally, I didn't know. I mean, I don't even know where to start because they just waited till it just completely like you have no choice whatsoever. Like there was no way they were going to fire this person. Premier League has already fired five managers this season already. And they, if you really combine them all together, right? Combine all their sins together, Ole still has more sins than all five of them. I mean, literally, Watford, which is probably like United is probably worth $1 billion squad, and Watford is probably worth what, like 25 million or something, and they're like terrible. They just had their fucking manager sacked. Okay, they have a new guy, Ranieri, who's like 75 years old, and they've been performing terribly. And then they come and the way they performed against United, I don't even know where to start. I mean, this is if people haven't seen the match, they might be thinking I'm exaggerating. Things can happen. Lucky goals happen for dude. De Gea saved two penalties on the trot. Then also it's 4-1.
Okay, I think
We were
let me.
fucking awful.
Yeah, I think I wish we were having this podcast like 4 weeks ago after the Leicester game. But okay, fine, you give him some slack. Definitely 2 weeks ago, post the Liverpool debacle, what United have shown is a complete, lack of ruthlessness, lack of spine. What should have been done, at least 4 weeks earlier. Now, what has happened in the interim is we've lost 3 or 4 matches and lost 10 or opportunity to earn 10 or 12 points, and we are at the same decision, right? Now, the point is like on the one hand, the inevitable has happened, so it doesn't make me happy in the sense that this was bound to happen, it was supposed to happen, so fine, it has happened. But the point is, even after Liverpool, like they didn't even have a contingency plan that okay, in the eventual scenario where we might have to sack this guy, let's keep some options ready. Look at the fucking statement. Oh, he's going, like we'll have Michael Carrick as the interim whatever, coach, and we will search for if you have read the words carefully, they're looking for an interim manager. And hey, by the way, Ollie might apply. Hey, interim manager is open, let me apply. He might be back. It's just crazy. Why would fucking United hire an interim manager when they've been no then when they knew that last 4 weeks that this guy is not going to last? Why is there no backup plan? And essentially, with 26 games left in the season, United board have written off the season because they are hiring an interim manager. This is just fuck all. I mean, I don't have words to describe. Last year, Frank Lampard was in the same position. Instead of giving up and say, "Oh, we'll hire an interim coach," they bought in Tuchel and they bloody. I mean, people have seen what he's done. I mean, this ineptitude, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm saying United may end up not winning a title for 30 years if this shit continues.
And it's been a complete nightmare. What you said was completely made sense. They could have gotten this done. Antonio Conte was there. And what I'm hearing, this nonsense, that the reason that Antonio Conte was not hired because he's too fucking difficult. Okay, for fuck's sake, Steve Jobs was fucking difficult, but he changed the world. Okay, instead of hiring and sticking to fucking company men, United need to grow up here, as you said, and appoint a manager who actually has ball, which is Conte. Okay, and history of winning the biggest trophy is not 20 years ago, right now. He's Jose Mourinho right now. And Conte was the best man to bring United back. When I say was, because the ship has already fucking sailed from whatever shithole they are in right now, because this is a deep fucking shithole. I'm telling you, Conte would have fixed this shit in within a week. I'm not saying that Conte would have made them win a trophy within a week. I'm saying he would have put everybody in their spot. See the team we have. It's crazy. It's craziest team, and now we have option. What options do we have? Like unrealistic options. Luis Enrique, he is already with Spain. Why would he want to fucking come here? He's not going to come here. Eric Ten Hag, I'm hearing a lot of amazing things. Please tell me about it. But the fact is, he is not from this league. Again, we starting from scratch. What was the whole fucking point? I told you this thing multiple times, even when you were supporting him because of your own nature and everything. I totally understand that. But from the very onset, just the guy does not have it, because even I said in earlier podcasts, people are like, okay, we are moving from this. Football doesn't work like this. You don't move from third,
So,
second,
I
and
mean,
you don't come first.
yeah,
You can completely blow up.
Correct. Let's take a step back. At the end of last season, it was a demoralizing end of last season because we lost the final. Did Ole deserve a sack then? Probably no, right? Because he overachieved in the sense that he finished second. Fine, we crashed out of Champions League. I mean, that's fine. We ended up reaching the final of the Europa League. Did Ole deserve to be in this season, like to be the manager at the start of the season? Absolutely yes. Did he deserve a 3-year renewal of his contract? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, were they like people lining up for like Oli? We want Oli, like and people will poach him away from United. That is the most bizarre piece of decision making I've ever seen. He was in this final year of contract. You could have assessed in December. Like, why would you have to renew him for 3 years when he's not delivered anything? I mean, that to me, that's where, like, I was like, oh, something is not right. Like, after the summer signings, United fans were on a big high. Ronaldo is back, blah, blah, blah. We got Varane. And then in the middle of all that, Oli gets a 3-year extension. And I'm like, okay, I mean, fine. Like, it all got, pushed under the carpet, under the new sign, like shiny new signings. But yeah, I mean, my point is, you're right. I don't think Luis Enrique is it's. I think it's just like someone's fantasy. I don't think that's a realistic option. Brendan Rodgers is currently employed in a job. Luis Enrique is currently employed in a job. Ten Hag is currently employed in a job, and hence these assholes have written out a statement. We are looking for an interim manager because like that gets them off the hook. If they get some unknown guy, some less pedigree guy, they can say, hey, by the way, he's just an interim manager. So they are
Oh, fucking
passing the
interim
buck.
manager will come. It will be some fucking United legend. He'll win 6 matches on the trot, and then they'll give him a fucking 17-year-old contract. This is
Exactly,
what will
that's the
happen.
plan.
Or these motherfuckers is
That's the
gonna
plan.
hire Ronald Koeman. Ronald
Yeah.
Koeman they'll get. He is still on the list. Why is Ronald Koeman on the list?
See,
I
I'll tell
want
you,
to kill
I think
myself.
we fans can tear their hair apart and have these debates like for ages. The problem is the United board don't seem to understand United is a football club. They understand that this is a business. They don't want to rock the boat. They want like a smooth management, conflict free management, and all that. While at the heart, they've forgotten. They think that as long as the business is running smooth, we are making revenue, we are making bottom line, prices on the stock exchange go up, sponsorships keep on coming in, they are happy with that, and they don't care who the fuck is the manager, as long as the sponsorship, the share prices, all that keep on like tumbling in. And hence this is the rot. They've stopped thinking about United being a football club, and hence this lack of ruthlessness in terms of get. And I'm not the one advocating that you should sack managers or sack anyone for that matter, but I mean, come on, like you have to hold someone to standards, right? This is, I mean, too little too late in my opinion. And I think United fans should like really switch off their tellies, not follow anything. This season is a write-off, like, because unfortunately United as a club themselves have written off when they said we are looking for an interim manager and Carrick will manage this team. So sorry, that's the
I mean,
situation.
that doesn't even bother me. Forget about bothering that this season's been written off. I had no expectation for like this season, next season. My problem is like, where the fuck are we going? Like, where the fuck are we going? Because now I've seen Ronald Koeman on the list. Let me just ask you, like, realistically, who's gonna come in? Who's gonna Zidane is gonna come in? Firstly,
No.
these are facts. He doesn't want to come. He's interested in that French job. He'll leave as soon as possible. He doesn't. He's won the stuff. I'm not gonna question how he won it because that's inappropriate and that's out of line. All I'm saying, he doesn't have philosophy. This guy only did not have a philosophy. He doesn't have tactics. He just a man management. We had man management, did not work out very well. He doesn't speak English and obviously has no intent to learn any English. Like he's like probably 50 years old. So if he wanted to learn some English, he would have been okay. If Unai Emery can come in, speak very awful English, and even like Leeds coach Bielsa, but his heart is there. When your heart is not there, do I want to get another person whose heart is not in the job? It does not matter how good you are. because it's the same way when England was coached by that great
We
Brazilian
like.
coach,
I mean, let
great
me just
Brazilian
come.
coach.
Um, yeah,
I'll come
I
back to the
don't
name. Yeah.
remember. Yeah, I think to me, more than the heart in the job or love for United, I want someone who is a selfish winner, like who doesn't care whether it's United, Chelsea, whatever banner that he's wearing. Even like Conte is a hitman. He doesn't care,
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm loyal to this club or I'm this club man, blah blah blah. He has his own pride and own ego. He wants to win at any cost. I don't care if United get someone like that. Like, I don't want the manager to like sing lyrics about, oh, how United is the biggest and greatest club in the history and blah blah blah, and all the glory days of the past. I don't care if someone is a passionate United fan and becomes a manager, great. But I don't think that should be a requirement anymore. It should be like, are you here to die on the pitch and get United a medal or a title? I mean, that's the kind of man we should be looking at. Unfortunately, it's too little, too late. It's end of November. December is about to start. No coach is available. They will have to make do with some fuck all guy. I don't know if Carrick wins 2 matches. They'll say, okay, Carrick, great job. Why don't you continue till the end of the season? And there, that will be that. And there will be
We
like, and if he goes, then Fletcher will say, oh hi, I'm in United, I'm the director of whatever his title is. Oh, I can coach. And that merry-go-round will continue. And then whatever coach will come in, like, who knows what will happen. But I won't be surprised if like anything can happen at United. I don't know. Like, I'm lost for words. I'm really angry. You know, last I've been angry for the last few weeks. But I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna be heartburn for a few more months. I don't know what will change. Woodward is going in December. I don't know how good or bad is this new guy who replaces him. And if whether we'll see any change of decision making hierarchy, some sort of change. I mean, that's the only silver lining that I see. That maybe the new guy who comes in is not a yes man, is not a banker, who loves football at the heart of it, and wants to make United a great footballing club and not a great commercially successful football club.
Yeah, I mean, over my lifetime, I've given interviews, and there have been interviews I've not been selected because I was being honest. And then I go to another interview, and just like I just talk nicely, then they just select me. Nothing to do with my fucking skills. Stupidity. They just want people to. And by the way, when you're saying the next man will not be yes man, it's not like it's not their decision. Okay, it's the company's decision. It's Manchester United. They're not going to hire anybody who's aggressive, who's going to ask them questions, who's going to challenge them, who's going to say these players are no good, kick them out. Everybody keeps saying that Mourinho destroyed the club. Mourinho did this. Mourinho got 81 fucking points, never got conceded more than 2 fucking goals, and he finished second, and he was amazing in that year. And the players we had fucking shit
Fellaini,
players. We had Fellaini. Okay, and backline, the same guy people keep complaining about. Phil Jones. We had the other guy who went to
Smalling,
Italy, Smalling.
Smalling.
Right. We had Lingard. We didn't have any fucking players, and he brought in Scott McTominay. He played when people say he was not going to play Rashford. He played Rashford. 6 years fucking Rashford has been there. Still call him a teenager or youngster or whatever fucking shit. 6 years have been. Where the fuck have you moved forward? You should have been already Ronaldo. Everybody keeps rating him. Amazing, amazing player. Is he really that amazing? Martial comes on the pitch. Well, I can see him for 2 minutes, then he disappears again. There is no fire in any player. I'm just concerned whosoever they're going to get. See, the point is that it's not that I'm concerned who they're going to get. When Conte was available, I just can't believe when Conte was available, they don't get Conte. And fucking Tottenham, a shit club like Tottenham gets Conte. I mean, I understand the guy who is the director there, whatever. He's Conte's very good friend, but Conte was out there. It's not like Conte was like, I'm going to go to Tottenham. It's just that fucking United said, we don't want you. Like, we don't want you. We want Ole Gunnar Solskjær, whom we're going to give 3-year contract. So he feels like this is a permanent job, like a government job, and he relaxes. If he was not given that fucking contract, he would not have relaxed so much and started high pressing in Liverpool. Like, we're just going to go out there. We're just going to kill everybody.
I'm here for
So
3 years. Like I don't care.
I
Like
don't
it's
know,
just
man. I was watching the match yesterday. I had a guest over. I called him up and I was like, okay, we'll watch match. And then I was just quiet and I was numb. I was not angry. And by the time match finished, and I was like, he's like, I'm gonna go now. I said, yeah, okay, sure, please do. And I've said, I'm gonna also walk out of my house and gonna go for a walk. I can't stay inside. I feel like I'm choking or something. And I was literally not angry. Honestly, I was just numb. I just didn't couldn't feel anything. I just felt like, when like a child died or something. I don't know. It was happening. It was not that, sometimes teams lose. It's just what happens if free goals happen, some crazy goals happen. Sometimes you're trying hard, your goals are not going in. Watford was just brilliant.
you can't
It's
keep on shipping 3-4 goals against all kinds of opposition and say that we are progressing. I mean, you're right. I mean, you can lose by the odd goal, you can lose by like close margins, but last 5 to 6 weeks there have been no close margin. It started with Leicester 4-1 or 4-2. I forget the score line,
I
but
think
it's
four
been
two
like a
possibly.
series of four somethings after that. Like it's just insane. You're right. City was like, oh, let's play this smartly. Let him keep his job. Let's only score two, and like keep him in the job. It's yeah, I mean, okay. So I think on a lighter note, every other club will be equally disappointed as United fans that, oh fuck man, like now he's gone, one more club. So my point is now, in terms of managerial capabilities, I don't think United will have anyone as good as Klopp, Tuchel, Pep, Conte. Those four are already there, right? And then you have the second rung, like one tier below them, Rogers, Bielsa. I don't I seriously don't know who will they pick from the rest of the world to compete against these guys, because money doesn't seem to be an object for any club nowadays. Earlier there was like money power of United, and United could outbid anyone and buy it. But I don't think to next year Newcastle is going to buy, probably spend more than United. So money is no longer an object for any club. It's who is the manager and can he bring the right, can he attract the right players. What's your club's ambition, and can the club attract the right players? So I think it's going to be very very difficult now for United. I mean, it's just I mean, I'm hard pressed to believe that we are here at this stage after the high, from the summer transfer window. We were all buzzing, and things were, after the first game against Leeds, United fans were over the moon, like, including me. But I mean, although like we were not saying that we were clear favorites, but at least things were going in the right path. It's like we are not to back to square one. We are like back to square -5. Like we were back to where Mourinho left us 4 years ago. So yeah.
And if Mourinho, whatever was going down, it was practically just, Mourinho was just playing the way he plays. Pogba was being an asshole, so he was telling him you're an asshole, and then we
So
lost few games.
yeah, I don't
He
want
would
the
have come back.
view. Yeah, I don't want the viewers to assume that we are like, I'm trying to say good things about Mourinho. Mourinho deserved to be sacked in that last season. The atmosphere was toxic. It was just crazy. But but that doesn't mean that Oli deserves. He also deserves to be judged by the same metric. Just because he played for the club before doesn't mean that he gets more slack than Mourinho in the same job. And hence I'm kind of miffed that this should have happened 4 to 6 weeks ago. We've lost 4 to 6 weeks, and more than the time we've lost available managers like Conte. Now we are fucking stuck with so-called interim manager. I don't know who that will be, but yeah, I think so. My 2 cents on this is, this season is a write-off. A new manager, we can all speculate and we can have these debates and articles about who will take over. I think a good manager for United will only open up at the end of the season when things churn out, managers are out of contract. I think the time has gone now. I don't know what will happen till
I can't think
January. I
of
don't see
anybody.
anything happening. Yeah, you
I
can't think
can't
of
think of
anybody.
anything.
Yeah.
Anybody. I mean, when I'm saying, like, see, Premier League, to win Premier League, you need Pep Guardiola, you need Klopp, okay, you need Conte. There's nobody else. You need Tuchel, okay. There is nobody else. Um, why I specifically say Conte? Because Conte, people are like, okay, what about Allegri or somebody? Conte has won here. Conte just won a league in Italy, like when Juventus won 9 on the trot. He won a league here. So when that person is available, you don't take that person, and then now you just go back to the window. And now, unfortunately, not only that, you get somebody else sacked, and then that person starts coaching that team. So you make your situation even worse. So I'm hoping Tottenham, all the pussies that their players are, they're so bad that they piss off Conte so much. By the end of the season, Conte just walks. And by the
Yeah,
way, don't rule out that
that's
possibility because he's going to punch these people because he's going to get pissed off. And but then United will be like, no, 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 we don't want Conte. See, he's fighting with everybody.
no,
This is
no.
their attitude.
By that time, United would have given a Carrick a 4-year contract as a full-time manager. So don't be
Remember,
surprised.
I told you Ronaldo will get Solskjaer fired. If there's one thing he'll do, he'll get Solskjaer fired. He
Yeah, now
kept
my
complaining,
problem
kept
is
complaining.
now my problem is this so-called great squad is now in a disarray because the new guy who will come in, he'll be like, okay, these are just collection of names. How do I fucking play a 11 the way I want? I don't have like the right. It's like puzzle pieces. They're great puzzle pieces, like shiny, made of gold, blah blah blah, but they don't fit together to form a full picture. Like no one will fucking carry Fred and McTominay and Matic in the midfield and say, okay, we have Ronaldo and Bruno, so like fuck everything else. Um, I mean, uh, God knows like what's gonna happen. And like I feel sad on one hand, and I feel like, why
Sad for
couldn't
what?
sad for the lack of intelligence or some I wouldn't even call it intelligence, common sense from Oli that the world, every small like a 5-year old United fan since 2 years has been crying out for a defensive midfielder, and he goes and like buys all these like other random positions. And he said at the beginning of the season, I'm very happy with this squad and I've got everything that I wanted. Either that was like a lie or he's just plain stupid. You I mean Anyways, I think we'll
Yeah, well, fair enough. So, as on the internet has been going around that people are saying it's pure poetic justice that Van der Beek scored the final goal of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's reign after coming on in halftime. That too was like even I felt like Ronaldo would never pass, and he's always going for it, and he passed it to Van der Beek, said, "You do it," and then and after
you put the final nail in the coffin.
all that nonsense that our
Yeah.
genius defender and captain did, and then gets sent off because he's too slow, he's too stupid. 80 million pounds we paid for this fucker, and people keep saying, "Oh, he's world class, he's world class." Yeah, well, he's not really world class. Might Watford would reject him. Leicester were just super happy that they got rid of this guy. Well, if they get interim coach, does that mean that Carrick will not be there? So I think interim coach will end up getting 5 4 year contract anyway. Um,
Ideally, United are preparing for another company man because what they've done is they've individually fired Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. His whole like coaching staff stays. Carrick, McKenna, who's that guy? Like basically his
Phelan?
entire backroom staff. Phelan,
Phelan's
Mike
there.
Phelan. Yeah, yeah. All of them are there. Ideally, like a manager is hired and fired, like the whole package. You can't say, okay, only you go. So basically, they're saying, okay, the coaching staff is a group of yes men and internal like United men. So let's keep them. Let's bring someone else so that he has hard time to rock the boat because the backroom staff will kind of act as a shield between the new manager and the board, and so I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's because United had absolutely no plans to sack him and they're ill prepared. But yeah, so it's basically the same rot, only now the face of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be there. Instead of that, it'll be Carrick for the next few weeks.
Phew.
Who will come
Harry
in to
fucking
take this mess
Maguire,
up?
mate.
I
Harry
don't know.
fucking Maguire.
Yeah.
No, yeah. See, I don't want to go on and go on about it, but I was saying as I was talking about the Brazilian coach Felipe Scolari,
Scolari.
who was a great
Yeah.
coach. So we don't want great coaches. We want a coach. We want some element what Solskjaer had, that you this is your club. Do you want to destroy? I don't even want any of that. I just want somebody who comes in this individual mentality that nothing else matters to him, which was only
Mhm.
Conte. What Klopp is doing this year also shows how amazing coach he is, because after what happened last year, okay. Pep Guardiola, let's not even talk about it. If Pep Guardiola has never been tested when he doesn't have money, but money is not a concern. So Pep Guardiola would have been amazing. Thomas Tuchel, I don't even know where to start. Takes over within like 3 months, Champions League winner. Right now, sitting atop, not even playing that great. Um, Lukaku is out. Werner is out.
Like,
Not
yeah,
even playing that
imagine
great still.
yeah, imagine in 15 months he would have won Champions League and Premier League, because this year I don't think anyone is going to stop Chelsea. Like, not anyone. If only they themselves can stop themselves, I don't think they like they have to be afraid or watch out for other teams. For me,
I don't know.
they're already
Yeah,
won.
I don't know what you believe, but I pretty much I'm sure it's a two horse race. It's between Pep Guardiola's City and Chelsea, and people are like, oh, Liverpool has been playing. So the point is, Liverpool does not have the squad depth. They don't have the money. They're already getting their players injured. I think they're just two more star player injuries away from just dropping off, exactly like last year. Probably not as bad as last year because the fans are still there, but expecting them to compete with the teams you're so cash rich, which amazing bench strength, they're not going to be able to do it. It's just not possible. It's not going to happen. So for me, it's
Yeah.
those are the two teams which are like
And
the
now,
main
interestingly, for
contenders.
the neutrals, the Premier League has become amazing, because earlier, like at the beginning of the season, people were like, "Oh, top four is decided. You just have to pick the order." Now,
Oh
United
yeah,
is not going to top finish in the top four, so the race for the fourth is heating up with Tottenham, Arsenal, West Ham. I think, given the current form, I think West Ham probably would lay hands on that. But yeah, it's interesting for the Premier League, who finishes fourth, because I don't think United will finish fourth unless something miraculous happens.
yeah, because it'll be difficult for West Ham as well. I mean, they did lose yesterday against Wolves, 1-0, and because they're in other competitions as well, so the money problem comes into play. But I mean, to be very honest, West Ham has been just amazing, just been absolutely amazing. I have few more topics to talk about. So which one do you take on? Like, let's do the quick ones. I'm not even sure you'll be able to answer this one. Like Aguero has been. There's a great point that he's retiring, but then Barcelona has come out and Xavi's come out and they're like, no, he's not retiring. We can't let him retire. We don't have any players. It's like the guy has heart condition. Let him retire.
It's been the most bizarre transfer ever. Like, he went and went to Barcelona, put his took his social media photos with Barcelona shirt, and then I've never seen him on the pitch, on the bench, anywhere. I think it's because of the financial crisis they weren't able to register him. Like, firstly, he got injured. Second is, because of the financial crisis, he Barcelona wasn't able to register him as one of the squad players or something in the summer window.
Yeah, I know. That's why he
And
probably has the heart problems because that he couldn't see any money
and
in his
and
bank
I
account.
think then again he got injured. It's just bizarre. I mean, it would be sad. I think he deserves like a one final decent season. I mean, he's way past his prime. But yeah, it's just strange. And I don't know. Like, I mean, if Barcelona is saying that he's not retired, then I'm assuming he's not retired.
I've not
But
read it through, but there was just yes, there was a report earlier today which said like he's about to announce his retirement because of this condition,
hmm.
and then Xavi and the management came out is like, no,
What,
we're not going to let him
what do you
retire.
think of Xavi's appointment at Barcelona? How do you think that's going to play out? It's sort of reminiscent of Ole Gunnar Solskjær coming to United. Nowhere in pedigree I'm comparing Xavi and Ole Gunnar, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think Ole, the main difference is that I don't think Xavi is a company man, not in that way, not the way he was. He is a legend, and as much people remember Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was off the bench player, and he had these few amazing moments, including that 1999 uh, comeback win against, I believe, Bayern Munich. So, but apart from that, Xavi was the person who, when Pep Guardiola's reign happened, Xavi is played like only person who's played more matches is Lionel Messi for Barcelona, and just running few more matches. Xavi is a legend, and Xavi is now also gone through. So just give me one sec. So My alarm is bloody ringing. So, and also that he's been coaching right now, although there's no way to compare Qatar with what we have here at Barcelona. Barcelona is a massive, massive mess. But I have definitely a lot more hope. But then again, who the hell fucking knows, man? That's the best they could have gotten right now. There are who else would have come? They shouldn't have sacked. I mean, Luis
They
Enrique
also,
was
by the way,
sacked. He left.
by the way, they also had the
Valverde, they shouldn't
same.
have sacked. Yeah, Valverde was doing
No, but
perfectly fine. I
they
think they
also had
fell.
the same options. Conte was available at that point. Barcelona never like even
Money problem,
looked
right? There's a difference. There's
into
a
that.
difference.
Yeah,
Conte wants money. They don't have any money. So that there's a huge
yeah, that's
difference
true.
between that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
there's a
is
huge
given the
difference.
circumstances. They could like this probably is the best they could have done. Somehow my personal feeling is that with all the constraints and all the issues at Barcelona, unfortunately, it's Xavi has his hands full. I'm don't not sure like what would you call success for him this season. Like like I don't think anyone like expects Xavi to win La Liga or Champions League. But what would define a success? Like I'm not sure to be very honest. Like if Barcelona finished third, would Xavi have done an okay job? Would you give him like 2 years of extension or something? That's my worry. Like what do you define typically in recent past? A trophy like a Champions League or a La Liga is success. A trophyless season is a failure. Now this season I don't know what how do you define recalibrate that.
Well, bigger question is, what do you think about Danny Alves coming back? And then
Oh god.
club president Laporta saying even Messi will come back. Don't rule it out, mate. I mean, like, what do you have, man? Sergio Busquets, all your players will be 37, 42. What the fuck is happening here? No idea. Let's wait and watch. I don't think on the onset it's a bad appointment because given the
Yeah.
circumstances, it's not that they hired Xavi because of whatever shit happened. This was in the pipeline for a while. Xavi had refused to come in earlier when Ronald Koeman came in, and people realized what I think a big mistake that Valverde was fired. Big mistake. I'm not saying Valverde was the best coach and everything, but he was winning trophies. But these guys thought that we can do a lot more. No, you could not. It's when he left and he realized, I think there was Kike Setien who got in fifth choice or something. Man, that was bad. Like literally, Lionel Messi, who's the nicest person ever, he was seen like walking through, like he was talking to him, just walks through, like doesn't even listen to him. Like literally, he's like, "Who the fuck are you, man?" And then we realized that how much Lionel Messi liked Valverde. And then they get Ronald Koeman because it's like, okay, put the fire out, and then Ronald Koeman comes in at the wrong time. Everything gets messy once things start, because Ronald Koeman is like honest person. Because I can relate to these honest people like Mourinho and everybody. Because once we start getting irritated, then we just lose it. We just completely lose it because every time we're saying something honest, people just telling us like you're shit. Why can't you just be nice? And I'm like, why can you be nice? People are like, okay, Ronald Koeman is saying we don't have any players, so we're gonna be shit. People are like, oh, he's so negative. Is he negative? You don't have any players. What happened when he left? They were 3-0 up against that shit team, and then not a shit team. They were 3-0 up. Then they conceded 3 goals.
Yeah.
So whose fault is that? Is that also Ronald Koeman's fault? Now you're still playing Ronald Koeman. You're still paying Kike Setien, and you're still paying Valverde, and you're paying Xavi also. Then you're probably preparing to pay the fifth coach also after you fire Xavi. So I don't know. Barcelona and Manchester United are fighting to be who's the worst because right now United is still winning, and that's amazing because we are winning against a club which has 1.2 billion in debt. That takes some taking. Now you want to talk about Azim Rafiq, the legend
Yeah.
Azim Rafiq. I don't know if you read
That's
about him, but
that's
he's got
blown
this
up.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing compensation package because of being a shit player and getting called Paki by people. Except that his text exchange has now been brought forward and he's accepted it and he's like, I really apologize, I've become a different person. Oh, what about all the money you should give back to the people because they've also become different people, including Gary Balance that you've been talking shit about, including Michael Vaughan that you've been saying that there's a lot of you. We got to do something about it. Except that nobody remembers, except only your friends, and they don't remember him saying. Nobody knows he said it. Then our Adil Rashid comes out. He said like, yeah, he told us. He's right. He told you. So why are you coming out? Because he told you that Michael Vaughan said it. Did you hear it? When you come out and say something like it looks like Michael Vaughan said it, all you're saying is because his interpretation, perspective, right? It's not you saying like I heard Michael Vaughan say it. He's saying no, Azim Rafiq told me, I remember it. What if Azim Rafiq was lying?
I think two. I
Azim
think
Rafiq was
two.
also lying. Let me rant it out.
Correct,
Azim
correct.
Rafiq was saying that these guys made me drink alcohol. I'm Muslim. I'm not supposed to drink alcohol. Except a 17-year-old girl, he was drinking alcohol in the fucking plane, making her drink alcohol, then sending her lewd messages. She said, I have no comments on him being whatever problems he had there. I'm sure they were true. But the fact is, he was saying like it's very contradictory. He was saying they were pushing me to drink alcohol in the statements, but he was pushing me to drink alcohol, and he was drinking alcohol with me in the plane. He had no problems there. Then he was sending me all the dirty messages. I'll push you against the wall. I'll do this. He had no problems there. And then he was also, his friend also asked like, oh, that guy on the text that he's very stingy, he doesn't pay up. He said because he's a fucking Jew. And Azim
Yeah, I mean,
Rafiq, you a cattle calling a pot black, buddy. Oh my god, this guy. I mean, from the very onset, I knew something is off with this person because I'm always like, really? Like, your problem is like people just call you Paki and like you call everybody Jew. Like, that's perfectly okay. You sit down,
I
drink with a
think.
teenager.
Yeah, I think to be. I
This is
mean,
just, by the way, tip of the iceberg, which is going to come out right now.
yeah, so I'm not sure. Like, sorry, I hadn't like read about his text coming out and all that, but I think so. There might be an element of truth in what he is saying, but that doesn't mean that he has the right to say the whole system is corrupt and it's deliberate. Things like that. I mean, again, I don't know what the inside story is, but you're right. I think it comes down to, see, when you accuse someone, then they're going to dig dirt on you. That doesn't mean that I, the accuser, I'm completely wrong because of my wrongdoings in the past. uh, Now it's up to the panel to decide whether they want to like say, okay, like you did two wrongs, it's cancelled out, let's go as is. Like, that's one approach. The other approach is, fine, you did something wrong, but what you bring up is also valid and I need some structural changes, and then go about that. So, to like, I sincerely hope in this whole Rafiq controversy, if there is element of truth to Rafiq's claims, they are not brushed aside by his own dirt from the past, because that's what the society is now. That's why cases go on and on and on. There is no solution. There is no saint or there's no perfect person in the world. If I accuse someone, doesn't mean that you have to drag up my wrongs and say, okay, because you did wrong, my wrongs are right. I hope that doesn't happen. That's my only
Yeah.
2 cents on this.
See, the trouble is not that, and I'm again going to just qualify my statement by saying that I'm not read in depth or even 5% of what the fuck is going on. Okay, there's few videos I've downloaded online, and but a lot of it is it's just pure whinging, to be very honest, and
Could
being
be, yeah.
like very thin-skinned about stuff, because I can hear the same shit being called to people, white people, and nobody will even bat an eyelid.
I think someone
Exactly that. So
apologized
when
to
people are
Cheteshwar
talking shit
Pujara.
about Chuteshwar
Someone
Pujara for
apologized.
calling him
Steve.
Andrew or something. I mean, like
No, no,
Steve. I
Steve.
mean,
Yeah.
go fuck yourself, mate. Go fuck yourself. Like, this is the kind of nonsense that's happening. This is just being absolutely whinging about everything. There's just whinging, and apparently he's got massive amount of money from these people. And he was a very mediocre player. There is no doubt about that. And he said, and because the problem is because he keeps saying that I would have killed myself. That's your personal thing, and I can understand. And again, I'm not saying that you were not brought to that situation, but I'm just saying it was bullying. So anybody can say that. Does that make it worse? So it's like saying when you get a penalty. So unless you fall down, it's not a penalty. Unless you make drama, that's not a penalty. So if somebody else is not making a drama, so they're not getting hurt. I've been told horrible things. Okay, so I've never felt like killing myself. So is my trauma not good enough at all? Only if I have to just climb up a building and say I'm about to kill myself, pop 15 pills or something, then only my trauma is bad. Or when somebody calls me a paki and I don't feel anything, so it's okay. But somebody calls you a paki and you want to kill yourself, so your trauma is bigger. So now that person becomes a racist, but because I don't react to it, don't become a racist. So that is my problem. It's like it can't be on perspective basis. It has to be absolute. I always said it: if I stab you, you stab me, the law is same. But it cannot be about somebody's interpretation, somebody's judgment call. It's like this Peng Shui lady, tennis player who's gone missing in China. And then Chinese people are like, the government has been putting out weird pictures of like she's playing with dolls and other things. Right after, she accused this like very high official of molesting and definitely raping her. And now she just made a public appearance because I think it's become like North Korea situation. You go out in the public, look happy, and come back, tell people that you're fine, and you're gonna be okay. But apparently, I think she's definitely not fine. She's been told to, like, she's her agency's been taken away from her. You now behave. You behave, lady. If you don't behave, you might just be beheaded or whatever the fuck. Because in China, if you disappear, you disappear. You're never going to find anything, not even a hair sample. It's not going to happen. Right now, they just trying to be a bit cool about it. But if she throws a storm here, you can see the entire world can do whatever the fuck they want to do. She's not going to come back. So these kind of things happen. Again, I also want to apologize to Rafiq also, because if I might have cross about him, and I don't know the ins and outs of what happened to this dude. But one thing I'm pretty sure, there's a lot of whinging, and there's a lot of like, I'm the good guy and everybody's the bad guy. All the white people are shitty, except I call people Jews and stingy because they're Jews, and I drink with 17-year-old girls and accuse other white players to forcing me to drink because I'm Muslim. I don't drink, except I drink on my own volition and send dirty messages to girls who are underage. So I don't know what. And by the way, this just started yesterday, because when the things start, thanks to this online trail, it's not good to call yourself a saint, because very quickly you will not be a saint. Because I must have sent messages to girls. I mean, it will come out. I can't go around saying like this, but that doesn't make him a bad guy. It's just like, he was just sending out sexual messages. But the fact is that it is very contradictory when she was saying that he is saying that they were forced me to drink, but he was drinking on his own volition. He was asking me to drink. We were drinking together. So that is just one single incident. That means he is perfectly okay with drinking. Why are you saying that people are forcing me to drink? I don't get it. And when you're calling other people Jews, they just called you Paki. What is worse? It's like, you tell me what is worse. You're telling me this person, the entire community is shit because they're Jews. They just call you Paki. And I told you last time also, in England, people just call people Paki, which doesn't make it right, but that needs to be improved. But when you live in Australia, people call me Curry. That's the way it is. It's just shitty. Don't say it, but I'm not going to like kill myself because people call me Curry. It's like, it's just, I'm not going to kill myself because
But
people
again,
call me
I
Curry.
think, I mean, this is like a different like conversation, a longer conversation. But I think if you feel not like, you feel that, okay, it's fine, like I don't care about it and I can take it. The other guy, like, it doesn't mean that all people have the same kind of mental balance or stability as you. Some people are more sensitive and it might affect them, and it might drive them to do other shitty stuff. So the point is, like, there is no such thing as self-regulation or self-correction. I mean, it's society, and these are human behaviors. Unfortunately, there is no like logic in human behaviors. It's like, oh, your emotion should be in control. They are called emotions for a reason. You can't always control them. So, I mean, I would say, I would say that, like, you're right. I mean, the point is that if he's being a hypocrite, that's wrong. But if something really affected him, then like I hope he gets his own peace with it. But you're right. I mean, if there is an element of hypocrisy that I drink otherwise, but if the players ask me, like white people ask me to drink, then that's bullying. That's wrong. But I think again, I don't know the whole
It's a
story. So
complicated. No, I agree.
yeah,
I've been also being blasé about it, so I agree with
yeah.
that. And it's a complicated issue. Um, but see, but I'll say one thing, like, when you say something terrible to people, and you realize that, sometimes I've said terrible things to people, and like, banter and other things, and there's a point you realize that this is like, this person is really hurting. You back the fuck off. But some people don't back off and they like it, and that's when it's shit. That's when it's bad. And you're seeing it's happening, and he's saying it's not, I'm not liking it, this is just getting messy. And then you don't back off. It's sadism, and it's just horrible shit that people do. And that stuff happened that really, really impacts people. Because I was raised in a boarding school. I was in Australia, so there's a lot of banter, and people say a lot of weird shit, but mostly it's like, you don't even care about it. Like, and some people are very sensitive. You say little things to people, and right now I've noticed with women, very, very, very sensitive. And the more woke they are, oh my god, I mean, they're so sensitive. Like, I can't even imagine like how sensitive they are. Like in Australia, I remember like 20 years ago, if somebody just like, in a convenience store, somebody just, an asshole just like grab somebody's ass, some girl's ass, she'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? and she'll walk away. She'll not even think about it. She's like, fuck off. And then here I know, like, if somebody grabs somebody's ass, I think there can be a movie about that, because there was a movie about Thappad in India, entire feature length movie about Thappad. Except nobody makes a movie when a man gets Thappad from the women. There's no backstory to that. That's perfectly okay. You are a namar. That's why you're getting beaten by women. But women getting beaten by men, men must be the most horrible people. Let's tell them the whole story and go the backdrop, because he slapped her because he's a man. So people imagine
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
think
things.
I
Again,
think the answer,
very
yeah,
long
the
talk.
answer and solution, most of these things always lie in the middle. It always, unfortunately, we overcorrect, like either on this side or that side.
Yeah, definitely
um,
correct. Definitely,
that's
yeah.
that's the issue. So there was wrong. I mean, world was not perfect before, but we are now overcompensating for those wrongs. There is an element to that, but again, like, I don't know, do like we I mean, to be very honest, I'm really confused and I don't know. Like, I think both of us are privileged, right? So someone might say you've not faced anything. So I mean, and they're right. Like, we are men, we are like Hindu men in like from in living in India. So we are the majority and we are the privileged ones. So I mean, to be very honest, I don't know what's right anymore, and I'm always like confused whether this is right or this is wrong, and it's going to be in this state of flux for some time to come, and then again we'll overcorrect. It's cycle, right? I mean, the world always, it's always cyclical. I don't know like how long this will last, but hey,
No,
it
no.
is what it is.
See, I take your point, but you have to understand. I was just barely 18, and I was almost 25, and those are the most formative years. And I lived in a first world where I was a brown kid. As you know, I'm 5'7". I'm skinny. Everybody was taller, better looking than I was. Uh, I was not even a citizen. I didn't have money. It's not like I was from a rich family. So nothing was going for me. Like, but I've never felt like a second class citizen in Australia. I always felt like a first class citizen, because that's how the systems are in place. I was never made to feel shit by a white person because of my color, because of my height, because of my shit. I've been told shit stuff, but that's just stuff that happens with everybody.
Yeah, but like, I
And
mean,
that has
sorry,
been.
just to jump in, I think, to be very honest, like every story is individual, right? So that's your story, and probably out of 155 people would relate to your story, or whatever, 90, there will be people who would have different experiences in the same situation, same background, same country. Someone might have gotten something worse, and it could be worse in absolute, or it could be because they were had a different state of mind and they perceived things, and they were more sensitive, like, so again, like, there is no right or wrong in this because it's very, very subjective.
Yeah, but
uh,
like, don't dismiss it. When I'm saying it's not my
yeah,
individual story, it's a story about everybody I was with. Anybody I was with, you can talk to them. Nobody will ever, like, literally people laugh at this shit.
mm,
Like people shake their heads, like, when 2010 happened, when there was people were talking about like Australia being racist and everything, all that drama was happening. But they're not racist at all. I mean, this is not my
correct.
individual point of view. I
Yeah,
said I
that's true.
lived in some country. It's my observation, not what happened to me. Maybe I said it like that, but it's my literally with everybody. And I can assure
Yeah.
you, this is not individual. If somebody was racist, it was us. Refused to integrate. Things we would do. We sit. There was a on Wednesdays and Sundays. We used to go to this Gurdwara in Blackburn, and I would generally go on Wednesday. So after college and everything, so generally Wednesday I preferred, because Sunday you have few things to do and other thing, and Sunday obviously they did the langar on in the around 12 or something, 12 and 1, and mostly we were not even up because Saturday night party and other thing, and Sunday either you work, you other things and all. We preferred Wednesday night evening. So it was best, and dinner is something Indian people love more, and particularly when you're young, dinner is what you want. We don't want like morning stuff. So there's this bus directly, and I can tell you the number also, 703. It would go right from my college, from Clayton to Blackburn, and Blackburn was the last stop. And right next to the last stop, within 100 meters, there was a Gurdwara. Unfortunately, on that Wednesday night, that bus would be filled with mostly Indians. When I say unfortunately, I'll tell you why. And multiple occasions, I've seen white people coming in, and Indian people behaving terribly. Particularly, there was Sardars and all, and that's nothing to do with Sardars. It's just anybody, and they would bully them. They would say rude stuff to them. And I've had multiple times when the white person has gotten off the bus, And right when he gets off, he's just like, fuck you, like fuck you. And then because he's not saying, because he's scared what these people will do to him, and then he'll get down like without his stop. He'll just stand there again, wait for another bus. And that time the buses will come every 15 to 20 minutes at least. So late at night. So I've seen this stuff. I have not seen it the other way around. I have not heard anybody doing it the other way around. It doesn't mean the Indian people are bad. It just means that when you take law of averages, a white person is much less likely to be racist than an Indian person. We are racist in the same building. In this building I'm living, I'm going to be, people are discriminated on different, at different levels, different colors, different hair, different eye colors. If you're a fair girl, right? If you're a fair girl, the first thing when you're born, right, little kid, people look at the girl, say, white girl. I mean, different languages. In Gujarati, they'll say something like, in Punjabi, we say Sonia. You know, so Soni means like pretty. Pretty means white. Okay, if your mother is white, trust me. If anybody disputes this thing, a girl is white, she'll get a lot more opportunities to get married at a much good family, which means more moneyed family. And if you're darker, people, your own family calls you darker. I had a girlfriend, she was darker, very close to her. Every time she would go back home, her mother would say, you're becoming darker and darker. Every time the same thing, darker and darker. Every time I go out with women, they're like, I don't want to go to Goa because, I don't want to get tanned. For us, tanned is like a bad thing. You know why the tan is a bad thing? Because your skin gets darker. We don't like dark skin. Nobody likes dark skin. It's just simple as that. When you got married, if I remember, your wife is fairly fair. I'm sure she must be getting comments on that. I mean, good comments on that.
I think
And
it's the grass is always greener on the other side. Like uh, very white, I mean, fair-skinned people want to get tanned. And again, as I always say, the truth is always in the middle. We are brown.
but
We
that's at
want a
least not for
lighter shade
racist
of brown.
reasons, right?
We want a lighter
It's
shade
not
of
because
brown. They are white. They want
Lal,
to,
Lal, it's not for racist reason. White people are not getting darker because of racist reasons. Because they look pale and shitty. We are doing for racist reasons. We don't like dark color. We call black. You see how you treat black people. You go on the internet and find what is happening to black people in India. So when we it's like the cattle calling the pot black. My point is that why are we saying that we are the most amazing people? You can point finger to other people. What Azim is saying, I am nobody to deny what he's saying is true. I'm just saying he's perfect. That is my problem. Why is he perfect? Why did he get 1 million pounds
yeah.
from these
So
people?
that's the thing, right? I mean, there is no solution to this because everyone is imperfect, and if they point out someone else's imperfection, people attack their imperfection, and it's a round and
Correct.
round circle. So where do we go from here?
Just don't overcorrect. Like no, it's a very complicated situation. My point was this much, that at least don't be such a hypocrite that telling other people are giving you alcohol when you're just drinking alcohol at your own volition with a 17-year-old kid, which is just one experience somebody remembered. It could be a lot of experiences. Like at least
True.
don't be a fucking hypocrite about it. And before it comes out that he called somebody a Jew, just say that I called somebody a Jew. You were just hoping that it will not come out.
Yeah.
And by the way, he just called somebody a Jew. That doesn't make him a racist. That's the kind of stupid shit we say. Oh, he didn't do it because he's a good Jew. You're a good Jew. You must be a businessman. You're
Yeah,
Punjabi.
but
Or you're looking
very
to migrate to
soon.
Canada.
Yeah. So very
Every good
soon,
Jew, every third good joke is, if you get three children, you always hope so, like putting your bets on at least one of them will be smart enough to move to Canada. And now the fact that you're actually in Canada,
correct. So I think the
the
point
joke
is
actually holds true.
2 years from now, all this will be, I mean, 2 years care. Right now, it's all politically incorrect. You can't say shit like this if you want to be so quote unquote, correct. And, you want to be like, not embarrassing or not, touching anyone's buttons. So very soon you will have a very sanitized language. Half the English dictionary would be banned, and you will be only allowed to say a few words, combination of words. And yeah, that's what it is, and that's what I mean by overcorrection, right? So just because people would use the N word 50 years ago, it was wrong and it got corrected, and now like there are other versions of it. So anyways, the point is this debate can go on and on. Let's hope we don't overcorrect. Let's hope there is some semblance of humanity, like people being themselves and not always trying to sanitize their thoughts.
All right, fair enough. So we are at 55 minutes. I'm going to take only 5 more minutes of yours. One statement I'll make, that Messi finally scored his first goal for
Ooh,
PSG
yes.
yesterday.
Finally.
And then I have one. Then I have two more questions for you. One is cricket related. This podcast is supposed to be about cricket. We completely did not talk about it at all. Right now, I'm watching it slightly delayed. What is the score right now? It's one. Mine delayed is
160
163.
169 for
Okay,
7. I think it's
169
gone
for 7.
as per the script. Like, the first two matches, like New Zealand started off great and faltered at the end. Here also, India started off great and faltered at the end.
But they're
Looks
faltering
like,
less than them because New Zealand went to like 150s, which was becoming very easy to chase. Right? Just like you just lost the plot completely.
yeah, I think the one thing I have to say in this new Rahul Rohit era, Rohit has already destroyed Kohli. Like, make this the headline. He has destroyed Kohli by winning three consecutive tosses, which Kohli did not do in 3 years. So Rohit Sharma is already, like, the greatest captain. He's won three
Yeah.
tosses in a row. Can you believe it?
People have been saying T20 has become like the full form is toss 20. It's like just T is for
Yeah, but
toss.
I'm
So
happy. I'm happy that he's chosen to bat first and try something different with the series in the bag. Like, he had the license to experiment. So I'm happy
that's what
that
they're doing, right? When they lose a toss, what will they do? That's what they're trying to do. That's what he said at the toss that, I want to feel because we want to see we want to figure out ways to win the matches when we're defending. I want to challenge the bowlers and I want to challenge the batters also to set up a good score and figure out
Yeah.
what score. You should not be just relying on what other team scored. You should be able to assess the pitch while you're batting at the same time. So do that. But there is no assessment while batting. It's just you have to play like England plays. Just go all out. Just go for
Yeah.
it. If the
And I
pitch is
think
really, really
that's the
bad, then you
approach.
then you understand.
Yeah, that's the approach. I think this innings, like, they've taken, like, they've just gone bang, bang, bang. Didn't care about wickets falling.
Yeah, but this is a dead rubber, so it's very easy to
Dead
do it then,
rubber.
right?
Yeah,
Let's be
that's
very
true.
honest there.
There's
Let's
no
be very
pressure.
honest. When
There's no
there's no
pressure on
pressure,
anyone.
when there's no pressure, Indian team is amazing. See what happened in the last three matches. So one question for you: if you watch the match, Arsenal lost 4-0 to Liverpool, but something happened at 0-0, and Arsenal was playing particularly fine. Sadio Mane jumped up, and then Arteta, like, it was a foul. Arteta started running around that, it's a foul, and then Klopp thought that Arteta is trying to get Sadio Mane red carded. Klopp started like yelling. Then Arteta chased after him, like ran towards him. It was like almost like a brawl situation. People are holding Arteta back, and I was like, I'm pretty sure Klopp is going to beat you, but maybe you're a player, so I don't know. You look smaller, but okay, fair enough. He's older as well. But then people are coming. It was like those Punjabi style brawls were going on, and then people are shouting at each other. And then after that, they get thumped 4-0. Do you think that has
See,
something to do with it?
I mean, to be very honest, I really, I mean, Liverpool, I mean, it would have been surprising if Arsenal took anything away, like even a point. But yeah, I think that verbal spat was just the drama that needed. And I think now there is, like, Arsenal fans will, like, at least he was passionate, and we see, like, him doing something on the touch line. He was not just like hands in his pocket, like sitting like that and all that, like. So maybe that's one positive that Arsenal fans can take. But I mean, I can't, like, bash Arsenal too much. They are doing well, much like how given how they started and where they are currently. It's just great where they are, and, like, let's see where he takes them.
Well, I'm just waiting for the last ball. Don't tell me if it's already happened for you. So technically, India has not capitulated because
Yeah,
and India has made
Deepak
184.
Chahar.
So this is
I
this is
didn't know
pretty good.
Deepak Chahar could bat, man.
I think his wife is here, or at least the one he proposed to. He's just showing off. Because Chahar never gets to bat. That's the problem. Apparently, he can
Yeah, but
bat, but he's never.
I've never seen, like, really in IPL also. Like, I don't know whether he's ever got a chance or something, but I didn't know, like, Chahar can bat at all, and he's, like, smashed some 20 of 6-7 balls. Like, he's just changed the momentum, like, and he's gone as to, like,
Bumrah
the
did that, right? In Australia,
sorry.
he was like playing as one of
Yeah.
those warm-up matches. He, in fact, hit somebody on the head also that got injured, who was supposed to play. Sean Abbott or something. I don't know. Somebody got injured, and he hit him in the head also. He scored a 50 or something. So these things happen once there's no pressure, right? You can just keep whacking. Something will connect. It's a fast bowler also. There's a fast bowler thing. As long as you know how to hold your bat, as long as you're not like Courtney Walsh or Glenn McGrath or something, you can just take a swing. These days, I think everybody takes a swing. I think these people get bored in the nets. There's like, okay, I've been bowling for such a long time.
Let's just swing.
Let's just swing. So on that note, now that we're at the 50th, 60th minute, I'm very underwhelmed by the whole United situation. If Conte had come in, I swear to God, if Conte fails, if Conte had come to United, if he failed, I would have accepted it totally. Fair enough. But I wanted the best manager, not the best manager or the best coach, but the person who's come out with this amazing winning mentality, and he doesn't care that whose club is it. I can't think of anybody right now, literally anybody, who is actually available, who would be willing to come here. There's only very few anyway. Unfortunately, all four are already in Premier League,
Yeah,
and one of them
sorry,
was
just to
available.
yeah, just to I just got a notification on my phone like 5 minutes ago. Apparently, United's first choice manager after Oli is Mauricio Pochettino. And so they're going to wait him out, wait for him. Maybe he'll fail this season and he might get sacked, or maybe in the summer. So this 9 months is going to be shit as hell. It'll be Carrick, and after it'll be like musical chairs. Carrick will have get 2 months, then Fletcher will get 2 months, then Phelan will get 2 months. So it's going to be a merry-go-round. And next year there'll be like uh, half the squad will be gone, like Pogba, Lingard, Mata, Matic, Jones. I mean, not that Jones matters, but half the squad will be gone, and then they will get Pochettino. That's the hope. That's the
Yeah,
hope.
Pochettino is just waiting that, okay, don't worry. I'm gonna. If he was, see, if somebody is really interested in a job, they'll take it right now. Like Steven Gerrard, he gets a call, he already packing. He doesn't even want to talk about Rangers anymore. In the interview, he gave us like,
Yeah.
this is all about Aston Villa. I am completely 100% for
It's a
Aston Villa.
completely
And he,
slap to
people,
Rangers, right? Like you're coming to Aston Villa. It
it's
was
a
not like
public
Liverpool
slap.
was. It was not like
Yeah,
Liverpool was calling and he couldn't say no. It was like
everybody's a fucking hypocrite. Okay, when he speaks, right, he's the most serious person I've ever seen. Like, have you seen any more serious than Steven Gerrard? But in the hypocrisy, I'll tell you, he said, I'm all in, I'm 100% in. Don't talk about Liverpool. I'm in. This is Aston Villa. You were in Ranger 100% and Aston Villa call, you jump. So you're saying
correct.
Liverpool calls tomorrow, you will be 100%. You will fucking jump. Don't give me that bullshit.
It's
He
just a
doesn't even want
stepping
to talk
stone,
about
right?
Rangers.
Yes,
Hmm?
it's stepping stone. He's just waiting, but this will
Bull
get him
crap, my
blooded in.
ass.
This will get him blooded in the Premier League. So 2 years down the line, when Klopp leaves or whatever, like he will have Premier League experience. I think it's a win-win for Liverpool and Gerrard. But don't say that I'm like I don't care about Liverpool right now. Of course you care. You got into the Premier League Aston Villa job because you want the next job to be Liverpool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he's saying that I am 100% in, I am nothing to do with anybody else, you were 100% in Rangers. This team called, you left. If Liverpool calls, you leave right now.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. So don't be a hypocrite about that.
Yeah.
You can say,
So
I'm
I mean,
not thinking about it.
yeah.
Right now, I'm
Coming
here.
back, yeah, coming back
Hmm.
to Pochettino, I think he won't be able to do that. He's at PSG, probably in a better club is in a better situation than United. I mean, has the same or better squad than United. So unless he gets sacked or fired, I don't think he will come.
So
I'm not too
you
sure.
So you wait for a person who is going to get fired? Like, is this how we are right now? And see that first of all,
Yes,
if Pochettino is
unfortunately,
same
yes.
situations, complete man, he's going to make them play well. He has never won anything. He did not even win the
Correct.
league. With these idiots, with
Correct.
everybody. And now he's complaining that it's very difficult to play with Messi, Neymar. My goodness. I don't want another person who can win. I want a person who has
Who will
won,
win? Correct.
and that was only Conte. We have lost him. We
Yeah,
cannot
and
wait
now
for
no
somebody.
one
If we have to
is.
wait for
Yeah,
somebody, that person is not desperate to come here. I want somebody who's desperate to be here, who leave
correct.
everything. I want
And I
like a
don't even
Steven
want.
Gerrard situation,
And
overnight pack and leave.
yeah, and I don't even want Brendan Rodgers. He's also not technically not won anything
He is
major, right?
also not won anything. You see
He
what
will
happened
make
against Chelsea.
correct. He will make your squad better, and he'll consistently make you like second or third. But that's his limit.
That's
You
exactly
can't.
what we had.
Correct. That's what we had, and you can't like beat Klopp and Guardiola and Tuchel by like Rogers, like he's a great manager. He's like has his team formation and all that. Doesn't work like that. You need a crazy ass winner to take on them. But anyways, interesting times ahead, and I sincerely hope there is some sort of bounce back from the players. In all of this, we've given players a free pass because Ole was the punching bag and he's taken everything in, and rightly so. But I think if it's Ole, I mean there is 20% of the blame to the players as well. It's not like the players were like trying and dying on the pitch and like
50%,
yeah.
20%. What do you mean 20%? They've been playing
So now,
horribly. Fucking
they will
Maguire.
be correct. Now they will be exposed. There is no punching bag to take all the punches above them. And now, like it'll be Maguire will be exposed. Fred, McTominay, all these guys will be like, there's no more excuses. Now they will have to leave or like perform. Like it's just
Performer
really
perish, motherfuckers. Performer perish. So something, and the only last word I'll say about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, I think it's definitely a good person, but good person is no reason for him to have gotten 4 years contract and stayed here such a long time. I don't think it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault personally, because once you're given the contract, what do you say? I don't want to take it. But at some point in time, I heard his interview yesterday. Also, the final words somebody said, because the interviewer was the older guy, so he had to answer all of them. And then at the end, he asked him like, "So how low are you feeling?" And I think he said something like the last 1 second. He said very low, like in a very like a Soto watcher, like under the
he
bed. So,
already knew, right? Like this was about to happen now. So
yeah, he knew. Like in that match, I could sense it. It's gonna happen, and he could sense it. And then in a way, he was kind of like doing that what Harry Kane did, but unfortunately, they didn't let Harry Kane go. So that was a different situation. So yeah, on that note, do you want to predict for India versus New Zealand this dead rubber winner, like for all its
uh,
worth?
yeah, I think it looks like India will win unless Guptill, does
I'm
something
gonna pick.
extraordinary.
I'm gonna pick New Zealand at least. I mean, I want New Zealand to win. Something has to happen, man, because they're gonna play 2 Test matches. They're gonna have some. Kane is gonna come back, right? He's gonna play the
Yeah,
Test
I
matches,
don't
right?
understand why two match series. Like why this New Zealand is given second class citizen. We also play
Yeah,
two
well,
matches
it's
for New Zealand.
too
Like why
much.
can't they
It's
have
like
at least
too
three?
much. I mean, three is the right way, but it's like people get tired. They don't want to play. Like fuck it, just
But
like
like,
that's
why
enough.
do we give this over respect to England where we play five? Or earlier we used to four, now we play five. Australia
Huh,
is
because England wants fight.
four.
But by the way, we only play four, so I don't know what you're talking about. We just leave. We just leave. We
So
just
yeah,
leave.
we will play
We
four. You
say
guys decide.
we'll only
Yeah.
play four. Did we say five? Oh, we didn't really mean it, did we?
Sorry, we are
Oh,
fatigued.
what?
We are scared
And
of
then like
Corona.
people like, oh, you want us to? Oh, we're not gonna play. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Nothing at all. It's like those boarding school bullies and college bullies. Like, oh, I've eaten all your chocolates. So, what are you gonna do? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, complain about it. So I get punishment. I'll come back and beat the fuck out of you. Whatever beating I get you twice. This is what's going to happen, buddy.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that was bad
I
shit.
wish it was a three match series. I think Australia also we play four matches. I don't know why
Not
do
going
we
to happen.
like these even numbers. Why can't it be three or five? What the fuck is two
No,
and
they get
four?
tired. It's about them getting tired. They're like, they just can't take it anymore. That's why. Because in Australia also, like they'll play five, but they just feel it's too much. That's the whole reason India used to play 3 matches, 2 matches.
Hmm.
So they just get tired. But I hope these are not fucking crazy spinning pitches and then Ashwin coming out. Oh, who is the one who's to decide what is the right way? What is sportsmanship? Dude, it's not supposed to spin like that. Joe Root is not supposed to take 5 wickets. That's the problem.
By
Okay,
the
if
way,
Anderson takes
by
five
the
wickets,
way,
I'm fine.
on Ashwin's point, he did perform well in the T20Is he played in.
He did. He did. He did.
He, so
He's
yeah,
the post Kohli era.
he will be the happiest when Kohli drops from captaincy because like he would have been like, I've taken enough shit. I've taken 400 wickets. I still get shit.
No, he should be in the mix. He should be in the mix. He deserves to be in the mix, but people should not be guaranteed any places. The only problem would happen when you take the big players, right? You have to play them, and that becomes problematic because everybody keeps talking about it when you don't play them, and that hampers the team's performance because you can't keep talking about these
Yeah,
players
the
when
problem
Kuldeep.
is, I agree with you. So he has to be. Problem is, he was not in the mix for 4 years for white ball completely. Like he was not
Yeah,
never
they
in
kind
the
of like
squad also.
think what Kuldeep will become this great Chinaman. They thought Yuzhuan Chahal will just flower into next Shane Warne. It just did not happen. Yuzhuan Chahal was perfectly okay, but
Yeah,
his form was fluctuating
yeah.
right a lot.
Today it's
Yeah.
going to be interesting to see Yuzvendra Chahal, like whether this setback, getting dropped and not playing in the World Cup and all that, has it taken a toll on his confidence? It'll be interesting to see.
We're about to find out. So thank you for your
All
so much time.
right.
I hope you have a great Sunday. This is India, but he's in Toronto, just like every other Punjabi Gujarati
So
person. He's Gujarati. He is a Canadian citizen now. So respect. Please like and subscribe. We have 420 subscribers. We are not selling 420. which is also code for marijuana in Indian language. I had a friend who used to smoke marijuana. He's like, I like marijuana. I say, you smoke marijuana and you still
Yeah,
say
have
marijuana.
marijuana with champagne.
Champagne with goosey t-shirt. Where Versace, that's the one. In case people don't even understand what the fuck I'm saying. What is Gucci? It's Gucci, man. Right? So Versace is Versace. So, so those things happen. On that note, thank you, Lal,
All
Bhargav,
right.
for your time, for your 1 hour 10 minutes. It's been beautiful. I'll see you soon, next week or
See
week
you
after,
soon.
in case you're not available for whatever.
Yep.
I'm in Hyderabad next week, so we'll work it out. Let's see. But I'm really, by the way, looking forward to. Do you want to check the score? What has happened with the football? There was a good match right now on.
Oh, the
I'm still
City is winning against Everton. Like I think they were 2 goals up last I saw. Yeah, they're still two
last I
goals
saw
up.
was 0-0. So you have already seen they're up. That means
Yeah,
I have
two
to
nil.
trust
It's
you.
2-0.
2-0. There's a big match. Oh, I'm gonna watch Leeds versus Tottenham.
It'll
Yeah,
be fun.
I
It'll be
love
fun. I
Leeds.
hope.
I
I
love.
hope like Conte gets riled up. Bielsa, like like lead score first, and it'll be fun to see Conte's antics in the touchline.
Oh, by the way, one last thing. You called Bielsa the second string or something, second level. I was like,
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
think Bielsa is
Yeah.
second. If Bielsa comes to, by the way, I don't care if all these people. I rather have Bielsa coming to United because he's only a motherfucker. Run. Like,
Players,
and he's only
players
sitting on the
won't even
buckets. He's only
understand.
sitting on the buckets. He's like, fuck it. Fuck it. Run. Half of the players speak Spanish. Don't worry. They'll understand what the fuck he's saying. He'd be like, no, there is something about Bielsa. Like, I don't think he was second year. It's just somebody who did not perform for a lot of
I wish he
reasons.
was 10 years younger. I wish he was 10 years younger and would have come to United.
All right. Take care. Have a good Sunday.
Take care, man. See you.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening. Bye bye. See you next
Bye.
time. All right, Bikram, you can cut it off. Last time you didn't cut it off. All right. So you're in the show. I'm still live. Bikram, cut it off. Bikram, cut it off. Bikram, cut it off. Should I WhatsApp you? All right. So what else you want to talk about till I get completely cut off from this? Are you guys going out on dates? I don't know who am I talking to, but please go out on a date. This is Sunday. This is the best time to go out on dates. Find somebody who likes you. Don't look for love because that will be very, very difficult. But if you end up finding it, that would also be amazing. But that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight or even in 1 year or 3 years. So Bikram is still not cutting me off. He's lying. We are done. Cut us off. So I've told him to cut us off, but he is not cutting us off. So yeah, I hopefully you guys going on a date. So I've please go out. This is Sunday and enjoy. I'm leaving right now. So if you see nothing happening, it's because I have left. I've got to go buy dinner. I can't make dinner. I have to come back and watch cricket and also watch Leeds versus Tottenham, Conte versus Bielsa. Take care. We love you. I love you. Bye bye. I'm leaving the studio.